Hi, hello everybody. My name is Calvin Stevens, but you probably knew that. But if you didn't, my name is Calvin Stevens. It's my 34th birthday. Surprise, surprise. Even I didn't think I'd live this long, if we're being honest. But so yeah, I just wanted to share some info I learned in my 34 years here on Earth. I'm not a professional in anything. Well, I'm a professional in making bad decisions, so that's why I want to kind of share with you some things I've learned in that. So I want to start with the letter C, and that's choices. We all have the free will to make choices, good choices, bad choices, and some of the choices we make that we may make in an impulse may affect us for years and years to come. I know some of the choices I've made when I was younger are still impacting my life today. So I just want people to be aware and conscious of the choices that they make. Just like we're in a society, in a time in Earth where we're all instantaneous. We want things to happen fast, but just take a second, breathe before you make a choice. Think of the consequences. That's what I think we really don't do a lot of these days, especially when I was younger. I did not think of the consequences of a lot of my choices. So I want to encourage you to do that. Think of the choices that you can make and the consequences of those choices. Then I want to think of the letter H, and stands for honesty. And I was such a liar growing up. I'd lie about the smallest things, to make people like me, to get me out of trouble, just to make myself feel good about myself. In the long run, it's so much easier to be honest than it is to lie. You don't have to remember all your lies you made up. You don't hurt people when you lie to them. I mean, sometimes honesty hurts, but but I'd rather you be honest with me than to lie to me. So I would encourage you to be honest with others and yourself. I wasn't honest with myself for a long time, and that caught up with me. I want to thank the letter R, and that stands for relationships. I was in many, many bad relationships, like friendship-wise, relationship-wise, girlfriend-wise, or boyfriend, whatever you're into. No judgment, sort of. And I'm joking. but really, relationships. If you're in a toxic relationship, maybe be it your friend or your girlfriend, boyfriend, get out of it. If you're not married, I don't want to encourage divorce, but work on it. Do everything you can. But if you're just single or in a relationship that you're not really committed to, don't put yourself through that. Your life is short. Don't put yourself in toxic situations. So many people do that. They don't see their own self-worth, so they put themselves in situations that's not good for them. Relationships. Surround yourself with good people that you want to be people that encourage you, people that lift you up. So that's the word I want to work on, is relationships. Be intentional in your relationships. Which brings me to my next word, is letter I, and that's be intentional of what you do. Don't let life happen to you. You happen to life. When you wake up and you hit the floor, go. Don't just be a bum. I was a bum for a long time in my life, and I let life happen to me. I thought I had no choice. I had no input into it. So be intentional in how you live your life. If you want to be a president, we need one. I'm joking. I don't get political, but you don't just wake up one day and you're president. You got to be intentional in this thing. If you want to run a marathon, you don't just wake up and run a marathon. You got to take one foot in front of the other and be intentional. It doesn't happen overnight. Change doesn't happen overnight. So you got to put one foot in front of the other and be intentional. Then I want to think about the letter S, which stands for sacrifice. That was a hard one for me. I would always want stuff instead of to give. I'd always want to see how I can make my own life better instead of how I can make other people's lives better. So sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Like, it could be that relationship that's not good for you. It could be like I was an alcoholic. I gave up alcohol to help better my life. Drugs, there's so many things that we put like on a throne, on a pedestal, that is not good for us. So we need to sacrifice those things to grow. Like, to grow and to see change, you need to make sacrifices. You need to make room in your life for more important things. Then I want to, this is the word that I have trouble with, and that's trust. A lot of bad things happened to me when I was younger, and even when I wasn't younger, bad things, and it gave me trust issues. But we need to trust and be optimistic that, the good will always outweigh the bad. And I said this before, if no matter what happens to you, if you can find the good in that situation, you won't always have a good situation. Yeah, bad stuff will happen, but the good will always outweigh the bad. And if we trust in that, if we believe in that the good will always overcome, you will have a blessed life. Now, if you're following along, all these words letters that I mentioned stand, they spell out Christ. And that's what changed my life. And this isn't some come to Jesus message. This is just what has happened in my life, my witness to that truth of what saved my life was Jesus Christ. But I had to be intentional about that. I had to make a choice to believe in Jesus. I had to be honest with myself and say that there is something bigger than me and that I couldn't do it on my own. I had to have a relationship with Jesus and cut out a lot of bad relationships out of my life. And I had to be intentional with my relationship with Jesus. You don't just go, okay, I love Jesus, and that's it. Like any relationship, you work at it, you nurture it. And I had to sacrifice to be him. I had to let go of my old life to be less like myself and more like him. I mean, I'm nowhere near him, but I'm a lot less like my old self than I used to be, and that's all thanks to him. And I had to trust in the fact that he died for us. He paid the price for our sins, and many people may not believe that, and that's totally fine. He gave us free will, but I'm just saying, I can't explain my life. I can't explain how I went from a drug addict, sex addict, alcoholic to who I am today. I'm free from those things, and it's only through Jesus Christ. A lot of people want like scientific evidence that he's real, and I'm sure it's out there, but I don't get too deep into that. I just go for the relationship I have in my heart and what he's done in my life, and I can't deny these things, even if I tried to deny, and I had for years. But regardless of what you believe in, those words I shared, choices, honesty, relationship, being intentional, sacrificing, and trust, you can apply those to your life no matter what you have, no matter how you live. And there's hope for anybody to turn their life around. This is what I'm really trying to push here is that 34 years ago, I never would imagine where I am today. I'm preparing myself to enroll in a Bible college. I was a high school dropout. I just got my GED a year or two ago. And I was suicidal 4 years ago, and here I am living a vibrant life for Jesus Christ. But it's from those things, from being intentional. It's my dumb dog, Gretchen. Drop it. Sorry about that. But yeah, so it's through all those things through Jesus Christ. I'm about ready to roll in an eagle literally just flew by. I'm not making that up. I'm out at my house, my porch, and an eagle flew by. Anyways, that's just amazing. Happy birthday to me. But yeah, about to enroll in the Bible college, hopefully in spring, to be a counselor, to help people and to help myself. But I just wanted to put this out there, guys, to make good choices, be honest with yourselves and others, try to surround yourself with good relationships, be intentional in your life, make sacrifices, don't succumb to the easy things, like take the hard road to better your life, and to trust that there's more out there, there's more to life than what you've been surrounding yourself in. Gretchen, quit. And and most important, love one another, love yourself, and love your dog whenever she's being crazy. All right, I love you guys, and Jesus loves you.